show the world with all the courage of a conqueror. So take a deep breath and dare to believe it. I know you don't see it all, but I see you could be anything that you want. Up to the stars, raising the bar, giving it everything that you want. And if you fall down, yeah, you're gonna jump from the ground. Oh, I know you don't see it all, but I see you were rather mighty as a rock, mighty as a rock, mighty as a rock, mighty as a rock.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Netball World Youth Cup here in Gibraltar. Quarter-final day, massive day of action. We've just had one quarter-final. We are now up to the second quarter-final between New Zealand and Malawi. New Zealand finished top of Pool A. Malawi finished second in Pool D. We are here at the Europa Sports Complex to see who will go through to the semi-finals. Andrew Tetley joined by Tom Reed. Tom, England just laid down a marker in that first quarter-final. Do you expect something similar from New Zealand here?
Yeah, certainly. Saw New Zealand yesterday against Gibraltar, a very comprehensive victory against the hosts. And New Zealand will certainly want to continue their form. Obviously, in terms of the tournament itself, they have much more form than Malawi. And we look back to their only single meeting in this competition where New Zealand came out the victors, 63 points to Malawi's 38. So certainly will want to make a statement in this match moving forward to the semi-finals.
Most definitely. We'll have a look at how our sides are going to start today for New Zealand, coached by Julie Seymour, assistant coach Tiara Keenan, Amelia Walmsley at goal shooter, Sarah Guinea at goal attack. Tiana Day starts at wing attack tonight. Serena Downer Kamakama at centre. Kaya Kepa at wing defence. Kanye Munro Nanoa at goal defence. Charlotte Manley starts at goalkeeper. For Malawi, the head coach Noel Musa, Christina Mkwanda, the assistant coach. Stella Madalisi at goal shooter. Florence Jeke at goal attack. Alanafi Chima at wing attack. Amelia Soko at centre. Esther Firi at wing defence. Aisha Gama at goal defence. Chimwenwe Dzanja at goalkeeper. Our umpires taking the court as we speak. Louise Cole and Leonard Maseo. We'll have a look at our benches as well. Real area of strength for both teams so far, but particularly New Zealand. Laura Barmer, Lossa Fafita, Josie Seymour, Ella Southby, Kate Taylor. On the bench for Malawi, Sophie Ledbander, Juma, Gertrude Makanjana, Idia Mohone and Ides Zakalaya. So this stage of the tournament, I'm sure we'll see both benches called upon. As starting lineups are introduced here. I mentioned Malawi been in Pool D, Tom, and match of the tournament probably against Fiji earlier this week.
Yeah, it certainly was a absolutely enthralling match. Certainly the match of the tournament so far. Obviously, still plenty of netball to come our way, so still plenty of matches to try and state that claim. But at the moment, it is that match for sure. Malawi coming back from a 6-point deficit to win it with a shot right on the buzzer, and it was electric in the stands and in the whole of the arena for that one.
Definitely was. Fans always bring the energy, and there are plenty of fans for both nations in the house this afternoon. Of course, we're approaching 1 p.m. local time here in Gibraltar. Haven't been outside for a few hours, but the weather has been absolutely perfect every day here. So 25 degrees is standard this time of the year. Tom, is that about right? You're the local expert.
Yeah, it's about right. It's some nice weather at the moment. You get a real mix, as anyone who's been to Gibraltar knows about the dreaded Levanta, which can come over the top of the rock and create a bit of a humid atmosphere. But there's been some lovely weather we've had down here. Luckily, down at Europa Point, you kind of avoid much of that, and you get some lovely sunshine down here.
Well, conditions just about perfect here. I mentioned Louise Cole, Leonard Maseo, reserve umpire Tim Marshall. ball is being delivered, and it will indeed be Serena down a Kamakama with the first opportunity. And I mentioned England, a powerful 64-33 win in the first quarter-final. They've booked their semi-final spot. Who will take them on? Amelia Walmsley will have the first shot on goal for New Zealand, and the left-handed shot is up and in. So here's Malawi's first opportunity. You certainly saw in that first quarter-final there was a lot of nerves from both teams early on, and took a little while to settle into a rhythm. But New Zealand's first possession was nice and clean. Let's see how Malawi's first possession goes here, and the pressure already from the New Zealand defensive third. They're forced to go back through the middle. Soko and Chima, yes, first hands to it, and she will take the free pass as Munro Nanoa stands out, and a beautiful ball over the top to Madalisi, and 1 goal apiece.
Yeah, it was much quicker and cleaner for New Zealand, but Malawi still managed to get there. A lot of it was disruption coming from New Zealand, but the ball always coming back Malawi's way. So it's still positive of both sides from that opening players. New Zealand move their way up now, and Malawi doing their best to try and cause some issues, but not enough to stop New Zealand ticking that scoreboard over once more.
Sort of feel that might be the key to the proceedings. Of New Zealand have had a couple of comfortable victories in the last couple of days over both the host Gibraltar and over Malaysia, and haven't really been truly tested. I feel tonight or this afternoon will certainly be a much greater challenge for them.
Yeah, it certainly will. Already we can see from these opening couple of minutes, just it's going to be a really interesting one as New Zealand get a goal on the turn of the throat, so they once again get the ball back, and another opportunity to get themselves up into that D and into a scoring position. Opting to just use a supporting player, and that does extend their lead out even further now.
Sarah Guinea laying off for Walmsley, and she makes no mistake, and 4 of the first 5 for New Zealand. And a beautiful ball over the top, but that was very well read by Munro Nanua, and went back to the ball nicely. I thought that was a well-placed ball, but she made good ground to that and got first hands to it. Tiana Day, beg your pardon, goes back and through Kepper, and here's Day again, and Sarah Guinea from almost right in front. She's got her shooting stroke on early, and the New Zealand bench are up and about as well. They certainly like what they're seeing early doors, and early break to New Zealand, 5-1. Here's another shot for 6-1. And I mentioned that England were very impressive in quarter-final number 1, and if this is anything to go by in the first 3.5 minutes, New Zealand, they look like they're going to put the foot on the throttle today.
Yeah, they certainly do. You can see the, as you said, the bench there on the top left-hand corner of your screen are just all up on their feet, trying to get some momentum into this side early days to just try and give them that push going forwards on the scoreboard, give them that benefit, and carry the confidence throughout the rest of this fixture. But certainly that's what they're trying to do at the moment with another score.
Good hold, Walmsley, that time, and she makes no mistake. Chima, and Madalisi goes back through the mid-court, and here's Chima again, and Soko on this near side, and pushed off it there temporarily by Dana Kamakama, and Jackie back through, I was about to say goes back through the middle, and Tiana Day just put a foot offside. Oh, there's that looping ball, but hauled in on this occasion, and here goes Jackie with her second shot to post, and it goes up and in as well. And you see an early substitution here for Malawi. In defence, Esther Piri goes off. Bring that change to you in a moment. Walmsley again. Another easy conversion for her, and all those shots for New Zealand are coming right under the basket at the moment, and that obviously increases your chances of a successful conversion.
New Zealand been moving the ball around really nicely, getting it into a really good shooting position. Now Malawi taking a bit more of a risk there, further away from the goal, but it is successful, so they push their scoreboard up closer now. 8-4 the score currently, as Malawi win the ball back.
Richard Makanganya that's come on for Malawi, a contest in the air, and just a throw-in is indeed the net result of that battle between Monroe Nanoa and Jeke, and New Zealand it is that come away with it. Guinea, oh, the pass to Walmsley had to be centimetre perfect, and indeed it was. And another shot from right underneath for Walmsley, and in it goes. Just got a little discrepancy with the in-house scoreboard and our scoreboard, but we know New Zealand are leading. It may be 8, it may be 9, but either way they are in front. I think it is indeed 9-4, so Malawi come all the way back through the middle third here. Tiana Day just pushing Maka and Ganya off the ball, but holds the ground well, and thought her player was going to zig then, and she zagged, and the defensive pressure through this transverse line for New Zealand is incredible at the moment. And hard for the Malawi attacking section to navigate their way through that. And here's another opportunity for Walmsley under the post, and it's up and in again. Some danger signs here for Malawi early on, Tom.
Yeah, there certainly is, and this is again off the centre throw, although the ball going back to Malawi now as they look to try and move forward. Malawi have played clever at times here, not quite being able to always be as clinical as New Zealanders getting into the deep, but they have been taking their time, moving it back down the court to try and reset and find some space. It's a very mature way to play, rather than trying to rush their way in, but that was nice work there. Some good movement off the ball, just drawing those defenders, creating that space, and it is a point for Malawi, and they now get the ball back from the centre pass as well.
Great split, wasn't it, by Jeke? And the New Zealand crowd calling for a replay then certainly wasn't. Excellent call, Leonard Maseo. But that one is going to be a held ball though against Alanafi Chimer, and New Zealand will get another opportunity. Just when it looked like Malawi were going to put together a couple of goals on the bounce. Like I said, the defensive pressure from New Zealand is certainly making it tough, and ball speed down the court here certainly is a joy to watch. And contact will go against Desanya, and be another opportunity here for Walmsley. Left baseline, steps in again. Just not quite happy with who's out of play. In fact, both defenders out of play now. And goal number 11 on the board for New Zealand, and that may well be followed very, very quickly by goal number 12. And again, that speed down court. There's just no time for the Malawi defenders to adjust. Like they're calling for a substitution, so the next breaking play, I think we'll see one of those. It's Madalezi, a long way from goal. Gama, Soko, and much better combinations there. And here's Jeke again, and she makes no mistake. She's very accurate in her attempts to post, and just needs more of them. 12-6. Great release again there by Walmsley. The combination between her and Sarah Guinea is right on point here in the early going.
I think Malawi at the moment are showing us that they can do some really exciting stuff and really get themselves up the court and get those points when they need to. However, their accuracy in some of their passing and the conversion is just not quite the same level as New Zealand at the moment, as you say as well. The pace at which New Zealand are bringing onto that ball, straight from the centre pass, moving it immediately into that final third. They just having that little bit extra success compared to Malawi at the moment, who are trying, but not quite getting over the line the same way that New Zealand are.
Excellent patience with the ball there, though, by Malawi. They absorbed all the pressure there, and a well-earned and a hard-earned goal for Madalese. That was great work, Malawi. It certainly is the key for the underdog teams against some of these strong nations, is they must respect the ball and reduce the amount of turnovers. So we see another change. Looks like Desanja's gone off at goalkeeper.
Malawi just caught out of bounds there, and we'll turn the ball back over to New Zealand. A little bit of frustration from Malawi there at that call, but it was indeed correct, as they didn't get in the way of the ball and win the turnover themselves. So an opportunity for them now to move up the courts. Again, New Zealand scrambling to get into position, but they do so very well, leaving little option and little space for Malawi.
Certainly right, Tom, and apologies, Zakalaya, it's actually come on at wing defence for Malawi. So we see that one from Madalese, just a little strong, but she'll get a do-over. And short scramble for the ball. Who's going to come up with it? Will indeed be Charlotte Manley for New Zealand. So approaching the 3-minute mark of quarter number one, 14 plays 7. Scoring rate of New Zealand has slowed down noticeably in the last few minutes. They're off at a cracking pace, but partially because Malawi were being nice and patient with the ball themselves. That's Sophia Banda that's on at goalkeeper for Malawi. And also Zakalaya at wing defence for Esther Piri. So a couple of early changes for Malawi, rotating through the lineups. As indeed Zakalaya that is out of play on this occasion, and Tiana Day goes quickly to Walmsley and puts that one up and in without any hesitation. 16-7. Madalese again goes back through the centre court and under heavy scrutiny from Tiana Day there. Go back to come forward again. Madalese drops it off for Soko, and I think Manly may have won that little battle there, and will indeed go Manly's way, and it will be Madalese who stands out of play. So another opportunity upcoming for New Zealand. Guinea, and back to Munro Nanua, and here's Day, and Walmsley out of the circle on this occasion. Goes cross circle, and the contact will go against Banda. Should be stood out for a Sarah Guinea free shot. Oh, goes half the way down and comes back out. So off to the races go Malawi. A stream down court initially, Tom, and then it seems to get held up in this across this attacking transverse line where the New Zealand black wall really becomes apparent.
Yeah, certainly. They're not giving them easy meters here, are they? Closing down all their options. As soon as that ball turns over, the speed of decision making from the New Zealand players to switch from that attacking mindset into defence is really impressive. To just change and think about, right, where are my options now? Who do I need to close down? Who do I need to mark? And who's going to be the biggest threat? And they've identified that very well so far.
They certainly have. Full credit to Malawi. They're certainly not showing any signs of going away. They are well and truly up for the fight. Zachariah out of play, and I'm going to actually move that on into under the post for a free shot, or a penalty shot, beg your pardon, for Guinea.
A little bit of just pushing and shoving under the post there. A little bit of grit in this match here. Which, as long as it's obviously in the bounds of the rules, we're pretty happy with. Shows how much it means to these players just to.
Absolutely, and just our clock within the stadium and the clock perhaps on our screen were a little out of sync, so the players might have thought there was a few seconds remaining, but there is indeed not, and that does bring us to the end of the first quarter in quarter-final number 2. New Zealand and Malawi both in a battle to see who will take on England in the first of our semi-finals that will come our way on Friday. First quarter all in favour of New Zealand, though, 17 goals to 8. We'll be back with the second 15 minutes shortly. Welcome back to the Europa Sports Complex here in Gibraltar at the Netball World Youth Cup 2025. Andrew Tetley and Tom Reed taking you through this one. One quarter in the books, Tom. 17 goals to 8 in favour of the favourite, New Zealand, but plenty to like from what Malawi did out there on court, wasn't there?
Yeah, it certainly was. We've said a couple of times now that they've trying to calm themselves, trying to play a very mature game, especially considering this obviously the Youth World Cup. It's really great to see how mature they are playing, moving the ball backwards to be able to try and find the space, but credit to New Zealand, they're really causing issues for Malawi, making it as difficult as possible than to be able to get that ball up and close to the net.
See what this second quarter has in store, and see one change here. Tiana Day, and looks like Serena down and Kamakama have switched bibs. So Day to centre, down and Kamakama to wing attack. Start of this second quarter. No changes for Malawi, so they will continue as they finish the first quarter Keep an eye on that Banda v Walmsley battle at goal shooter, goalkeeper. There's plenty of physicality going on in that circle, and I'd say Banda wins the battle on this occasion, but the pass was probably a little strong, and it will be a Malawi throw-in. Try and work it away out of their own end, and see that New Zealand zone that has been so effective for so long, and Malawi breakthrough here, and here comes Jeke with a left baseline shot. In fact, she will leave it for Madalese. Work out where that instruction was. It's indeed against Munro Nanua, and that's a good start for Malawi.
Yeah, it's a great start from them to be able to get some points on the board early days. It's really going to help them with their confidence, and obviously now as well with the centre pass, they got an opportunity again. Seem to move backwards once again, just trying to find that space, but as we said earlier, really is that New Zealand defence is causing them the issues, but that was lovely movement and quick ball skills to be able to get the ball underneath the net for an easy extra point.
Oh, beautiful play indeed. Madalese, Jeke led her right to the post with a perfectly weighted pass, and 2 in a row to start the quarter for Malawi, and that's exactly the start that the coach would have asked for. And here's another opportunity coming for them to make it 3. It will indeed be a throw-in. Contact against Dana Kamakama, and here they come again, Malawi. And oh, beautiful fake one-way and looked under the post for Madalese, and splendid start to the quarter. 3 on the bounce for Malawi.
This is a huge start to this second quarter here. I don't know what the conversation they had at that break between the 2 quarters, but goodness me, it's really shot them forwards. Really good work as well. They drew the New Zealand defence over to this near side to create the space on the far side, which allowed them to get up closer and into that deep. And here they are once again.
Opportunity here for 4 in a row, and Jeke just sets the penalty. She'll step into this, and she will convert again, and there's 4 in a row for Malawi. And probably can't see it just to the far right of our screen, but some of the Malawi secondary bench team are very excited by what's taking place at the moment. And just for the moment, Sarah Guinea stops all the momentum that Malawi had. 4 in a row to start the quarter. To a 6-goal margin.
Well, as you say, we saw in against Fiji, Malawi don't mind going back from a deficit, so certainly not written out of this contest by any stretch of the imagination. Just goes a little short on that shot. It's time to recompose and gets the second one, so ups that to 5 now and cuts the gap to 6 points.
Well done, Florence Jeke on that occasion, but fast movement down court from New Zealand counters that goal, and the one for the Kiwis. 19-13. Just over 3.5 minutes gone in this second quarter, and it's going to be a footwork call indeed against Alamati Chima in the end. So Walmsley just landed a little awkwardly there under some heavy attention from Gama, and she defers to Sarah Guinea, who deposits that. We'll just keep a little eye on Walmsley. She's just trying to walk that off herself. Looks to be okay. With the right foot, she's just trying to shake a little stinger off. And back this time through Kepper, and Day nearly stepped and adjusted her feet nicely. Walmsley had to chase that one down, did so well. And Kaya Kepper didn't like the extra attention there that she got from the Malawi defender, and just turned around to say, come on now. got the penalty. We play on. And Walmsley with the take over the top. And converts. A little set. Crazy almost, Tom, to say a little settler for New Zealand, but I feel like they just needed that goal, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. The pressure from Malawi and the way they've been moving forward with the goals that they've been able to get it sort of, 4 on a bounce. It's a huge opportunity for Malawi, a huge boost for them as well, and almost a little bit of a probably unnerving for New Zealand a little bit, that not just that they're getting some more points on the board, but they managed to do so in such quick succession.
Very short breaking play there, and caution issued. It's hard to tell whether that was actually against, whether it was against Kepper or whether it was against Alamati Chima. Unsure, and a loose ball here is picked up by New Zealand, and that momentum's just starting to swing back in the favour of New Zealand again. And beautiful ball, Guinea over the top to Walmsley. It was 17-8 at the first break, so 5 goals apiece now here in this second quarter. Oh, did very well again. Did Gama, Aisha Gama, time to run to that ball very, very nicely, but didn't quite get the head up in time, but that one will go against Guinea, and Gama positioned herself well enough there and positioned herself between the pass and where it was the intended target, and call in her favour. Soko, a little 1-2 with Gama, and Jeke a long way from home. Cut straight towards the basket. Pressure from the New Zealand defence has just gone up a notch here in the last few minutes. But as we've mentioned, Malawi being nice and patient, Tom, and we'll see if patience wins out here in the end.
Yeah, once again, moving backwards to be able to go forwards. And again, they've managed to get further closer. Now they've won the call there as well. So opting to just push the ball to the right-hand side of the post, and ball tips its way over the top there and down through for another score for Malawi as they now get the centre pass. So again, an opportunity for them to try and put some momentum back in their favour, as New Zealand have tried to do so after Malawi did so well at the start of this quarter.
See what the call is here. I think it's going to go against, been an offside call at the end of all that against Downer Kamakama, and take the free pass, and then Madalaze left baseline, accurate, in it goes. Good ball to Walmsley that time. The back turn did Banda and took full toll of that. About as fast a response from New Zealand as you could possibly get.
Yeah, that speed that they utilised in that first quarter is coming back into this second quarter now straight away, moving that ball. But that's seconds that they've managed to get the ball back down the other end of the court. And straight away, they tick over that scoreboard once again.
Speed. I might have said it in an earlier game, speed kills, but that was pretty to watch. And Banda and Walmsley again, keep an eye on that out of the corner of my eye. It was a little agricultural that time from Aisha Gama, and penalty is indeed going to be advanced, and that will come right in under the post. So just need a little adjustment there. Nothing wrong with aggression, but it's got to be almost harnessed aggression, doesn't it, Tom?
Yeah, it certainly does. The game has changed massively in the past sort of 10 years or so from where it used to be. Any form of contact at all was kind of out of the game entirely. It started to creep more in now. It's created a more of a contested game, an opportunity to try and fight a little bit harder for that ball, but it does still need to be regulated. It still needs to be to a certain level. We don't want to see a rugby match going on out there, essentially.
No, definitely not. Here come Malawi again. Soko goes back. Obstruction against Tiana Day. Both Kiwi defenders go up. It'd be Manly who stood out. And that one goes up and in again. on the scoreboard for Malawi. They've primarily gone goal for goal here in this second quarter, but 9-goal deficit after the first quarter. It's every conversion is needed here to keep themselves within shouting distance. Not going to get all 9 goals back in a hurry, but a case perhaps of chipping away. Give themselves a real hope as the second half commences.
And I think for Malawi as well, that we've seen already just how patient they can be, how patient they are in their play. So I'm sure that they'll understand as well how patient they have to be just for the game as a whole, to be able to try and chip away, as you say, to get those goals, to be able to eke their way forwards on the scoreboard. And when that opportunity comes, I'm sure they'll pounce.
We've mentioned it a few times already, but they faced a significant deficit against Fiji, but that wasn't beyond them. But this powerhouse New Zealand team are a different proposition, and lead hits double figures now, and 4 minutes to go to half time. They certainly want to make sure that they match goal for goal here in the run up to half time. Walmsley, 1 touch, 2 touches, but then goes out. Thought she might have kept her feet in. And it's that stomping on the floor that we actually saw in the England game pulled up as regarded by some umpires as intimidation. So let go on that occasion, and we'll see if that benefits Malawi. No one home for Jeke, and defers to Madalese, and she converts nicely. So both the New Zealand defenders look like they were out hunting there, but it exposed a fair bit of space in behind.
It was a good spot there from Malawi, really. It's not something that probably they'd be expecting to have so much space back in that backfield. But a really good spot to get that ball down there and lead to that goal as well.
Well, and Walmsley with the answer. 28-18. 11 goals to 10 in this quarter. It's been back and forth, and it's probably a fair reflection on how this quarter has gone. Knocked out of court by Munro Nanoa, and couldn't get the feet adjusted there just quite right, could Madalese. She wanted to adjust the feet, but knew she would have been called for footwork, and in turn her shot is a little strong from distance. There's Manley and Kepper. Strong on the ball, Kepper. Back to Tiana Day, and with Walmsley again, and Walmsley burrows away through there, and contact on Bander, and another one for New Zealand. Under 2 minutes now, 29-18.
Yeah, it's New Zealand trying to reassert their dominance here. That pass just going awry, which doesn't help things. Oh, but goodness me. Mistake coming in as well from Malawi. The pass just opting for that bounce pass and just slipping beneath it. And it gives New Zealand a bit of respite on their initial mistake.
Here's Soko again, and deflected out of bounds. Serena, come up. Chimer, and Zachariah again. Madalese outside the circle, and back through the middle third again go Malawi. And bounce past 2 bounces in the end to Chimer. And good evading there initially from Jeke, and just couldn't find her shooting partner, but Day is out of play, and there's a good space plenty of space to operate in there for Madalese, and she makes no mistake. Goal number 19 for Malawi, goal number 11 for the quarter. New Zealand have 13 this quarter, and we're down at 30 seconds or so remaining till the long break. Beautiful timing. Over to Walmsley from down a Kamakama. been a steadying influence there at wing attack in the back end of this second quarter. Charlotte Manley comes out for a hunt this time and knocks it out of bounds. Now, can they work the clock here, Malawi? Got to go quickly. That will be a contact against Charlotte Manley, and there will be a shot for Malawi after the siren. So, beautiful long-range shot from Stella Maddalese. Caps what's been an outstanding quarter from Malawi. They scored 12 goals. New Zealand did score 14, but Tom Reed, that was an entertaining second quarter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was, and a vast improvement from Malawi. Just trying to pick apart the two attacks there. It's New Zealand are getting the ball much easier into that D, just sort of getting some passes over the top of some of the Malawi defenders. Malawi having to work a bit harder, but actually getting in a little bit closer, getting a bit more opportunities in terms of working through their movement of their other players into space is making the defenders for New Zealand a little bit indecisive as to where to go. That's what's creating the space. So Malawi having to work harder to get that ball into those scoring positions. New Zealand's a little bit easier, but Malawi working really hard and showing us exactly what they can do.
Absolutely. Appreciate your comments and thoughts through that first half, Tom. 31-20 in favour of New Zealand over Malawi halfway through quarterfinal number 2. We'll be back with the third and the fourth quarter in not too much time, so make sure you join us then. Welcome back to the Netball World Youth Cup, Gibraltar 2025. We're here at the Europa Sports Complex on this Thursday afternoon. New Zealand and Malawi halfway through this quarterfinal number 2. 31 goals to 20 in favour of New Zealand at this long break. But a 14 goals to 12 quarter, so almost level pegging in that second quarter. Andrew Tetley with Tom Reed. Tom, plenty to like about Malawi's performance in that second quarter.
Yeah, there certainly is. We had a lot to talk about in that little half-time period there. Malawi really pushing forward, as you say. The difference from that first quarter to the second quarter, they've really woken up, and hopefully that only continues as they move forward. And we know that with that fixture against Fiji, that they don't mind coming back from a deficit either. So certainly, definitely not ruling out of this game at all for Malawi at the moment. But certainly, New Zealand are going to be difficult to get the better of.
Rule them out at your peril. Have a little look down the court here and identify any changes. New Zealand look to be, as they finished, Walmsley at goal shooter, Sarah Guinea at goal attack, Serena Janakamakama at wing attack, Tiana Day at centre, Kaya Kepper at wing defence. Looks like Kanye Munro Nanua has stayed at goal defence and Charlotte Manley at goalkeeper. Conversely for Malawi, still got Sophia Bander at goalkeeper, Aisha Gama at goal defence. Check that Ides Zakalia is still at wing defence. In fact, she is. So, there'll be no changes for either side. So, both coaches reasonably happy by the looks of what we have out here on court. So, we'll see how things play out. No changes either side. So, confirmation there. And there's a longer range shot from Amelia Walmsley, but similar result to most of her other shots, and in it goes. First blood for New Zealand in this third quarter, and often called the third quarter the championship quarter, and there's not a championship on the line right here, but certainly the chance to progress in the championship division, get yourself into the top 4, and book yourself a date with England tomorrow. Of course, semi-finals Friday, rest day Saturday. And all the top 8 places will be decided on Sunday here at the Europa Sports Complex. What a lineup that is already, and we don't know who's going to be playing who, but there'll be some great matches coming your way over the next 3.5 days. Tom Reed.
Yeah, there certainly is. The fixtures coming through here, as I say, getting to the business end of the tournament now, so it's all to play for. Every match is counting towards your position. It's going to open up opportunities or close down some doors for others as well, so every team won't want to let up now. I think looking back at New Zealand yesterday, the choosing to rest a couple of key players against Gibraltar and left them a little bit more fresh perhaps for this fixture here today, because Malawi are certainly not going to let them have an easy go at this one.
Very relaxed looking bench over there for New Zealand. Good coach Julie Seymour, of course, 89 test caps herself. Played at the 1992 World Youth Cup where New Zealand came away with the gold medal, and of course a World Cup 99 and 2007, so stack of experience over there on her bench, along with Tia Roja Keenan, so a couple of test caps herself. I'll have a plan, not just for this game, for how to attack the next one and any subsequent feature after that. So, but the job's not done here yet against Malawi. They won't go away. Drop in goal number 21. Speed of Serena Janakamakama. Fatigue not an issue for her. She's certainly full of speed and proving very difficult to handle along that attacking circle.
Yeah, certainly are. Malawi again, just keeping that pressure up. They're really not giving everything easily to New Zealand. A little bit of contacts that they got caught for there. But they now move themselves up. Again, bringing that ball back, just resetting, allowing to try and find some more space. And again, some contact this time from New Zealand. Nice ball over the top and just caught. Oh, just couldn't quite get her feet set there. Ball didn't quite go where she wanted it to, so New Zealand do get the call and make their way so rapidly up the court, but then get caught themselves going out of bounds.
Error each way, and now we are stuck down here in this bottom left-hand corner, and very little space to operate out of, and Downer Kamakama will stand out. In fact, it will be Walmsley at the top of the circle. So that was the screams of Stella Maddalese. It was like, pass it to me, I'm open. Good closing speed, Charlotte Manley, and she got there just in time to defuse that situation, but both defenders took a bite at that one, and Maddalese open in the back door. And goal number 22 for Malawi is through.
And New Zealand know, I think, just how dangerous Malawi can be when they get those opportunities. So choosing to bat the ball out to slow down that play, but it didn't stop Malawi from making that score, albeit a little bit later on the clock than they maybe would have liked. But again, New Zealand straight away down the other end. Oh, that ball not quite getting in, but it is caught on the rebound and is eventually got inside the net.
Walmsley did well there. The miss of Guinea and converted. This chimer. There goes the bounce pass. Asked a lot of Jacquet. Did very well, did Florence Jacquet. That's another bounce pass. That'll be a contact on Charlotte Manley. Just a little late to that one, and they look to play on quickly here, Malawi. Slowed down nicely by Day. Surely obstruction. No. Play on. Back through the middle third. And Day comes around the back and then throws the ball away after being called for contact. Got away with it. Acrobatic this time, Jacquet, and just trying to lay that ball off for Maddalese, and she draws a contact from Manley again. Is picking up a little bit more whistle in this third quarter. Maddalese from right in front makes no mistake. And we're going to see a substitution here. It looks like Sarah Guinea going off at goal attack. Pretty sure that'll be Ella Southby that's come on at goal attack. Indeed it is. A bit of adjusting of patch work here by Downer Kamakama. And we'll indeed go back for a Southby possession. So we're underway again. Kepper and Downer Kamakama and Day, and Southby just floated along the baseline, and her first shot is up and in. That's a good start for her, and gets the congratulations from Amelia Walmsley and opens her account 37-23. So margin at quarter time was 9. At half time it was 11, and that margin is now 14. So time for Malawi just to make another run and keep themselves afloat in this game. And bullet pass. Great pass from Maddalese. Jacquet, and she doesn't let her teammate down, and they're pleased with themselves after that one.
Yeah, so they should be. It's given them that little bit of a boost once again, showing what they can do. And New Zealand, though, once again, straight away getting back up into a shooting position. And they do get that point back. So Malawi trying to do all the right things here, but New Zealand just trying to slam the door closed on them as much as possible. But that won't stop them.
What a play that time, Manley. That just seem to have all the right answers at the moment, New Zealand. And Be a different story if that margin got back down into single figures, but still sitting quite comfortably at the moment. That's, I was going to say, that was a little too firm from Manly, but indeed it's a, will go against Tiana Day on the far side. Jeke and Chimer. Oh, good stretch. Florence Jeke, another beautiful looking shot from her. Slight angle, in it goes. Walmsley at the other end, wastes no time. And that margin is drifting around 14, 15 goals.
Yeah, it's one thing New Zealand are just doing so well at the moment. They're straight back into it. Malawi are having to work so hard for every single point that they're getting, moving the ball around. And big contact there as well. It's Malawi ball. It certainly shows just how hard New Zealand are working to try and not allow them any foothold in this game. They know that they can come back from a deficit. So they want to keep that difference as big as possible. And they know that they can score pretty quickly. So the longer that they frustrate and delay Malawi, the easier it is for them to keep that scoreboard and the clock in their favour.
It's a quick change there for New Zealand. Laura Barmer has come on for Monroe Nanua. Ella Southby drops another one in, and got the speed here of Soko. Gets herself open, back through the middle again. It's a perfect vantage point up here from our camera spot to see that defensive structure of New Zealand and just how hard it is to penetrate and get a nice, easy, open passing lane. Charlotte Manley contact. Ooh, just a little to the left that time, Stella Matalese. So opportunity gone, and here comes another chance for New Zealand.
Yeah, Matalese there just didn't seem settled in her footwork, just a little bit uncomfortable on the ball, and that showed as the ball went wayward. And once again, New Zealand just don't wait around, they just get straight back up the other end. And now they have a centre pass as well, so an opportunity for them to extend even further.
Warning there against Ines Sakalaya. Whether it was for the contact or whether it was for intentional delaying of the game there and the ball coming back to the centre circle, but either way, Bandit does well that time, knocks it out of court. Neither her or Walmsley looking to take a backward step in that matchup under the post, and going to be some bruises on both bodies after this one. Southby left baseline. Oh, that's a pure looking shot. Goes up and in. And Soko again. She goes back this time to Sakala. Stuck in this middle third. Here comes the breakthrough there. Nice movement, Jeke. She goes into the circle, shut down by Manly. Beautiful spin move, Jeke, and oh, that was great defence, New Zealand. Great defence, both Kaya Kepper and Charlotte Manley. Spin move on spin move from both the Malawi attackers, but just read beautifully by the New Zealand defensive units. Strong take this time, Walmsley over Bander. Just going to wait till Louise Cole is satisfied with exactly where that's taken, and here come New Zealand again.
Yeah, New Zealand at the moment really staking their claim in this match. Malawi haven't quite got the same sort of momentum that they were able to get in that second quarter. And this third quarter is proving a little bit costly for them at the moment. Just having to work that a little bit harder. New Zealand really setting quite deep in defence. Just not letting them get through, putting on that pressure, forcing Malawi to go back. I think they've seen that tactic. They're forcing them to do that a little bit more just to try and force an error. And unfortunately, an error does come through.
Laura Barmer timed her run nicely to that one. That was just sustained defensive pressure. And mentioned it a few times, Malawi have been nice and patient, but just that time, that was just spectacular defense. Walmsley hits the court and didn't like the attention too much that she got on that occasion from Aisha Gama, and oh, it's getting a little bit too much there in the circle, but we play on. And Louise Cole has seen enough. And that will indeed be a 2-minute suspension for Idas Zakalia. So numerical advantage here now for New Zealand, and Zakalia may have been just the straw that broke the camel's back there. There was a little bit of contact from a number of players in that defensive circle, and that 2-minute suspension will make things very difficult for Malawi between here and the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, it certainly will. That's something they really didn't need. They're already struggling to move that ball effectively up the court, and now with one less player, that's going to make that task even more difficult. And New Zealand straight away trying to do, they can put 2 players on 2 different attacking players from Malawi. That just puts that more pressure on. Malawi have been able to get through though. That'll settle the nerves a little bit, but still not in a desirable position to be in, especially now that they are nearly 20 points down on the scoreboard.
Whilst all that's been going on, some changes for New Zealand. See Josie Seymour is on at wing defence for Kaya Kepper, and Lossa Fafita on at goalkeeper as well for Charlotte Manley, who did a great job. So some fresh legs out there for New Zealand. And call time again here. And another warning being dished out in an advancement of that penalty to under the post for Walmsley. And spoke about aggression from the Malawi defenders, and they just need to control that aggression now and just rein it in a little bit. It's just catching the attention of the umpire on almost every occasion down court there for New Zealand now. So they just need to be a little bit careful and just adjust accordingly.
I think they need to focus a bit more on, you know, just what can they do, what can they do well, what can they be in control of. They've tried to frustrate New Zealand and cause a few issues in terms of their aggression within this game. It's been picked up now by the umpires, so that's not going to work moving forward. They have to change their tactics slightly and focus on the attack, which is something they can have a bit more control over.
And certainly time here for New Zealand if they are quick enough. Walmsley, 45 degrees, medium range. A free pass and she'll step in, and she will indeed convert for New Zealand's 48th goal, I believe. It's 28 for Malawi. That's a quarter that had it all. 48-28, so 17 goals to 8. Exactly the same scoreline as the first quarter, which is when a lot of the damage was done by New Zealand against Malawi. 48-28 they lead. 15 minutes to go in quarterfinal number 2. Make sure you stay with us. We'll be back shortly to see how this one plays out.
So here we go then, back for the fourth and final quarter hit. New Zealand certainly in the driving seat at the moment. Malawi just trying to push a few buttons in that third quarter there, resulting in a 2-minute suspension. So they are still down a player for the next 30 seconds or so. But with the centre pass start, they'll want to try and do something with this ball to try and start this final quarter with a positive. But it's New Zealand who straight away got onto that ball. That extra body helping there to be able to cover more ground. Less options for Malawi, and New Zealand to get the first score of this fourth and final quarter.
See Zachariah has come back on for Malawi, so they're back at full strength now. Katie Taylor also on at goal shooter. Amelia Walmsley to the bench, and mentioned it very briefly in passing at the back end of that third quarter that Charlotte Manley went off, and she'd been fantastic at goalkeeper. Got the ice pack on that left knee, so hoping that's just a precautionary measure and nothing too major, but certainly barely any drop-off with Lossa Fafita on at goalkeeper, because she is a star in her own right. So depth is key when you get to the back end of these tournaments. With there's lots of miles in the legs, and so depth becomes really important, doesn't it, Tom?
Yeah, it certainly does. So, you know, it's over a week. It's 9 days long, this tournament, so it's a long time to stretch yourself out for. And obviously a couple of rest days dotted in there, but it depends on where your fixtures fell in the pool stages. Some teams getting their rest day right at the start on day one. Obviously they're having to push through all of their matches beyond that, and without a single break at all. So it does really rely on those substitutions and those on the bench to be able to come in. And we've seen a few teams mix around their squads. To say New Zealand, a bit of squad rotation yesterday against Gibraltar. Obviously a stronger side, New Zealand, to be able to try and give some of their stronger players a little bit more of a break, as two players just come down on the court there, but scooped up by New Zealand still, so we play on.
Might have been Kaya Kepa copped a bit of accidental fire there from Milia Soko, and just checking on each other as they both pulled themselves up off the floor, but appear to be okay. Mentioned Kaya Kepa, she's back on at centre. Go down through the line for you. Stella Matalese at goal shooter, Florence Jecka at goal attack. Ella Muffy-Chimer at wing attack, Milia Soko at centre for Malawi. Ida Sakalai back on now at wing defence. Aisha Gama at goal defence, Sophia Banda. And Mains at goalkeeper for New Zealand. Katie Taylor is at goal shooter, Ella Southby at goal attack. Serena Downer Kamakama as a wing attack now. Kaya Kepa, I mentioned, is at centre. Josie Seymour at wing defence, Laura Barmer goal defence, and Lossa Fafita is at goalkeeper. So changes are plenty for New Zealand. Not as many changes for Malawi. See, there's a little bit of movement over on the bench. A few of their players had the long sleeves on before, so maybe there are some changes on the way for Malawi. I think that this one is out of reach now, so whether they use their bench or not, they might also be thinking ahead to the 5, 6, 7, 8 playoffs. I think, but I'm not certain, that they will play Scotland tomorrow for the right to battle off for 5th and 6th on Sunday. So we'll know all those computations come the end of today. For the meantime, they're going to look to finish strong here. I mentioned 17 goals to 8 in that third quarter, which was the same as the first quarter. 14-12 was a highly competitive second quarter. Kaya Kepa goes to Dana Kamakama, and Taylor outside the circle, and that's the bump from Bandit. Gets front position and then draws a contact from Banda, so she'll shoot from right in front. I was going to say a little short, but gets the shooter's roll. And that one goes down. Mistake. Apologies. Looks like there has indeed been a change for Malawi, and that's Aditya Juma on at wing attack. So see if she can bring some energy. Oh, foot out of court there by Jeke.
Coming a little bit of a theme in the moment for Malawi, doing such good work and then just making a little bit of a mistake. It may come from some pressure from New Zealand as well. So it's not just some unforced errors, but they're getting themselves in the right position and just unable to convert as they get to the end, as New Zealand again push forward on that scoreboard. Another substitution coming here for Malawi at goal attack.
We thought those changes might come, and they indeed have from Malawi. And good to see some of their bench players out there. And Juma at wing attack, she looks very lively. Soko, and I think that is Ada Mahone who's come on at goal attack. I'll just wait for the official confirmation from the bench. I think that is Ada Mahone. Kama gives it up for Taylor. A little strong from Taylor. It's a rare blemish on her scorecard. You can see that New Zealand certainly don't back off. Pressure right from the baseline, and Taylor with an obstruction. For Malawi, and indeed might be Gertrude Makanganya at goal attack. So apologies for the delay, just so I could pick up the name on the back of her dress. She'll step into one here, and that goes up and in for her conversion for her. 21 earlier this year did Makanganya, and one of the older players in the tournament, and makes no mistake with early attempt for her there. Southby, I thought she was running out of real estate, but the two umpires are just going to have a little bit of discussion here about if there'd already been a warning against Aisha Gama, I think. So they'll advance this penalty, and she will need to join Ella Southby beside. Again, just living right on the edge at the moment, some of the Malawi defenders, aren't they? Yeah, and living on the edge is stepping over the edge at some points, unfortunately, and it's not going to help them in the long run. If the umpires already having to come together for a conversation, luckily didn't end up in anything too harsh, but we've already seen a 2-minute suspension, and I'm sure the umpires won't hesitate to give another if it continues in the same vein. Soko again to Palmer, and back to Soko, and Makanganya, and good take under a lot of pressure there from Juma. Scramble on the floor. Who's going to win the battle? Oh, it's going to go against Kaya Kepa, indeed. Oh no, in fact it's against Losa Fafita. So steps in, does Makanganya, and converts again. So held a nerve there and dropped another one home. Yeah, and some more contact there and pressure
Another time for a conversation between these two umpires.
This might be against Zakalia again, just consulting. So we're going to see how this game will progress, and she looks to have been dismissed from the court. So she will take up a seat next to reserve umpire Tim Marshall. We'll just keep a little eye on the clock for exactly how long that is for. Repeated contacts, I think, would be the reasoning there. So Malawi are down to 6 players on court again, and it's going to make this next little passage of play even harder than what it already was proving. So
yeah, certainly, and it's a real shame because we've seen what nice play that Malawi can put together. It's so difficult to do the game that they're playing because they're using a lot of their players in that attacking position. They're moving around the court nicely, but they can't utilize that effectively if they are a player down. So they're going to have to work a little bit harder, and we know just how strong this New Zealand defense is as well. And there we go, just forcing that error there. The pressure coming through strongly from New Zealand, and it yields the ball back. And straight away, once again, that speed just straight down the other end. And missing a defender. It is very difficult to be able to defend against this New Zealand team when you're missing a player.
Katie Taylor on the money there. Serena Downer-Kamakama heads to the bench. Ella Southby shifts over to wing attack. Tiana Day, who we've seen at centre and wing attack tonight, now make an appearance in the goal circle at goal attack. So versatility plus for her. I may have neglected to mention Desanja, who's back on at goal defence for Malawi as well. So just keep an eye on the clock. This suspension, whether it was indeed a 2-minute suspension or whether it was for the remainder of the game for Zakalia. So it's about a minute and a half or so already gone. There's a few more substitutions lined up in the Malawi interchange area, so we may see a few more before this one finishes up. Under 4 minutes remaining now. I think by my calculations that has already been 2 minutes for Zakalia, so that suspension may well have been for the remainder of the game, and Desanja goes off, and it's Ada Mahone coming on at shooter. Changes are plenty. There's indeed Aisha Gama, who's come back on at goal defence. So trying to keep track of these changes as best we can. 63-33, not too dissimilar to our first semi-final scoreline. Let's see if New Zealand can convert a few more here in the remaining 3 minutes or so. 2.5 minutes now, and Tiana Day proving that not only can she play wing attack and centre, she can shoot as well. That's just an additional luxury, isn't it, for the New Zealand team?
Yeah, it certainly is. Has such versatility in their players. Gives you so many more opportunities, not only in general gameplay, but obviously if you're trying to rest players or replacing any injuries. It's a long way to pull out a travelling reserve to come from New Zealand at this stage in the tournament, so you've got to stick with the squad you've got, and so having that depth in that squad is so important. As the ball is still with Malawi here from the centre pass, trying to do what they can here despite being down a player, still sat on the far side. So it does look like she may be out for the remainder of this match here. While we're just taking a little bit of time here, they looking for the options as the ball comes off of New Zealand there.
You can see Mahone, nice tall, a lot of height there in the shooting circle for Malawi, 190 centimetres. So see if she can get in the right position to get a feed, but attracts the attention away from Makanganya, and she puts one down for Malawi. So goal number 34. Just over a minute remaining. Another opportunity for Taylor, taken quickly.
It's just that speed there from New Zealand once again, just showing how quickly they can get up the other end. And in comparison, how Malawi are really working hard to try and move that ball around to find some space. It'll be interesting to see how it goes here, as you say, that height of the goal shooter has the advantage of being able to try and utilise that height, but also the threat that it poses gives a little bit more space to the goal attack as well to try and utilise that opportunity.
Definitely right, and clarify with Zachariah going off, and indeed Esther Fury has come back on at wing defence, so haven't in fact lost a numbers advantage. They did for a couple of minutes, and then that player was able to be replaced. So Ida Zachariah off for the remainder of the game. She's rejoined her teammates on the bench, and Esther Fury has come back on at wing defence. So back to 7-on-7 for the last few moments of this one. And we'll see if there's one remaining shot for New Zealand. There indeed will be for Katie Taylor. She makes good with that one. Goal number 67 for New Zealand. Comfortable winners here in our second quarter final. They have booked an appointment with England in the semi-final. Will certainly be a matchup that you want to see. That will take place tomorrow here at the Europa Sports Complex. Final word from you, Tom Reed?
Yeah, I think it's a shame for Malawi, really. They showed us in that second quarter what they could really bring to the table. But at the end of the day, New Zealand were as strong as was expected, really. They really pushed that lead out. They really showed their dominance, caused issues for Malawi when they were in attack. And it just didn't let them into that match, really. So New Zealand definitely deserved winners of that one, but Malawi certainly put up a fight.
They certainly did. They will move into the playoff for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. And there will be some exciting matches to come in that bracket of the draw over the next couple of days. 67-34 is your final score here in quarterfinal number 2. We certainly have enjoyed bringing it to you. On behalf of Tom Reed, Andrew Tetley, handing it down to a word from the New Zealand captain, Amelia Walmsley.
Well, Amelia, congratulations on a great quarterfinal.
Thank you.
How's the feeling amongst the team and all the coaches? How's the vibe right now?
Yeah, the vibe is pretty sore, actually. That was pretty rough out there, but yeah, we're pretty stoked. We knew that, you know, we had to win this game in order to go through the semi-final, and our ultimate goal is to win this World Cup, so we're just one step closer now.
Excellent. It certainly felt like there was a lot of energy in that last part of the game.
Yeah, we definitely knew that we had to bring it. They brought out in that second quarter, they brought a real big energy to them, a massive, really high vibe. So we knew that we had to pull it back on them and keep ticking away the scoreboard.
Well done and congratulations and good luck with your next match.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Guided by a beating heart, I can't tell where the journey will end.
all the courage of a conqueror.